Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Not a Boring Real Estate Podcast. We're your hosts, Ryan Domas.
I'm Diego Vasquez, and today we are at Drive Your Dream Car Academy headquarters here in San Diego at West Coast Auto Gallery with my very close friends, Oscar and Jesus.
What's up, boys?
What's up, guys?
Everybody?
Super happy to have you here.
Excited to be here.
So we just want to jump into it. We have a lot of questions to ask, and you guys have a lot of really good information for us and the viewers. I know Ryan had a couple questions for you. I'll let you take the reins.
First of all, how did you guys meet?
Oh man, so
Oscar.
we
how did we meet? I was thinking about how we met Diego.
Oh, yeah. You can say that too. Yeah.
So Jesus and I actually we go way back. We've went to middle school, high school together.
Yeah.
So in high school we were in different cliques, like different groups that we would hang out with. But every time we came across each other, we would always have that friendship, that respect for each other, right? And that stayed there throughout high school, even after high school. After high school, he got into the car industry. I got into the real estate industry. And during that time, he was killing it in his field. I was killing it in my field. And we would send business to each other. So we would still stay in communication, right? And then from there, fast forward to us becoming business partners last year, 2022. Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2020, and here we are now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, now I know Oscar from, about 2013, give or take?
Sheesh, 2013, yeah.
I remember Oscar was about to leave for Mexico because he was like, I'm done with the U.S., I'm out of here.
I've heard this story.
Right?
I've never heard it from anybody else, but yeah.
Yeah, and then so one of our close friends, he said, you know what, come work for me. This is where we got our start in the business. And he's like, you're going to make your first 10K in 3 months, within 3 months, he said?
Yeah, so it was so I planned on moving to Mexico and I don't know, living a free life out there, right? I figured I speak perfect English.
Yeah.
I can sell anything. There's no way in hell I don't make a living out there, right? That was my mindset. Anyways, I was young. But yeah, so I was working as a telemarketer. And then from my skill level, I got called in and basically I was told, hey, either I don't teach you and you just stay a telemarketer and then you fly out when you fly out, or I can teach you and invest in you, but you have to not move to Mexico, but I'll make sure in the next 6 months you make $10,000 a month and more, right? So I said, man, he sounds serious. So I said, fuck Mexico, right? With $10,000 a month, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I took it, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and we started killing, and I mean, we were 22, 23, just gunning for, trying to better ourselves, and, we were very money motivated, and then I remember he got his first Porsche, right? But I got one, so I could say Porsche. And then from then on out, I mean, I just remember, my boy climbing up in the ranks and always believing in himself. He was always the type of guy to just like he would always bet the house on himself.
100%.
And so that's where I really want to take this podcast to, and helping the viewers so they can start believing in themselves. Oscar, what would you say to somebody that maybe wants to do something, whatever that may be, but just can't seem to find the confidence to get started?
Man, so oftentimes people don't want to get started because they feel like they don't have the perfect plan to get started. But in reality, it's very hard, or it's almost nearly impossible to have a perfect plan, because a lot of things will happen that you don't even know will happen, that you can't even prepare for, right? So my biggest tip would be, just get started with something small. Take one step forward and get that one small win. And the next day, do it again. And something just starts to happen. This energy just starts to build up, this confidence. And all of a sudden, the wins become bigger. And all of a sudden, you start believing in yourself because you're like, man, I'm doing everything I said I was going to do. I'm winning. I deserve more. And it just naturally sparks, and it happens on its own.
So it snowballs.
There's no secret formula. So you have to get started. You have to work. You have to put in the work. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's incredible, man, because especially for real estate agents, mindset is what really separates their career from being successful to just doing 3 or 4 deals a year, because we're like, all right, this is as good as I'm ever going to get. But that type of mindset pushed them through the wall. Makes them break down that brick wall. And we've been hearing about Drive Your Dream Car for free. Tell us a little bit about your course.
So, so what we do is we show people how to structure their credit, right? So let's take it back. So we have a exotic car rental company. It's called Dream Car Exotics, right?
Awesome.
So we rent supercars, right? No regular cars, no Camrys or Priuses here. All we want is supercars, really, really dream cars, right? So we have Ferrari 458, we have a McLaren 570S. This is one right behind us. We have BMW i8, pink G-Wagon, GTR, just cool cars, right? So we've been doing this for years, for about I'm gonna say 3 years now, 2019, right? So then everybody's like, oh, I want to get my own car. How do I do it? How do I do it? So we try to help as many people as possible. We got some of our friends' cars. Some of our friends have Ferraris, Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, McLarens, stuff like that. But there was just so much demand for it, right? Yeah. So we realized that a couple of things. One, we can't help everybody out the way that we were doing it, right? Taking individual calls, it was going to be impossible, right? And two, we realized that how low people's income are in this country, right? Like realistically speaking, one car doing it the right way, structuring your credit the right way, having the right system will make them more money than their job makes them, right? So then it's kind of like we had to do this, right? So we wanted to help as many people as possible, and this is like the coolest business that we could ever have thought for people, right? Oh, yeah. Imagine being a young kid working at Walmart. You take home $2,200 a month. Less. Let's say you take home $1,800 a month. Yeah. Right? You can literally structure your credit.
And that's working 40 hours. They could be working half of that.
Full time. You know what I'm saying? Having terrible working hours, not having a life, getting treated bad by your managers, terrible schedule, no process, no like future like growth. Yeah. I mean, like your future growth is like
no time to even try to do something else.
Nothing, right? You're talking about like your next step up is like a 25-cent raise, right? So for those people, we were able to like structure their credit, get them a really dope car, right? Doesn't always have to be supercars, right? But let's say this BMW i8, this car is like $85K for this car, right? If you know how to run the right system, this car will profit over $2,000 a month, right? And that's just using an asset as a cash flow, right? Just like real estate, right? Yeah. So we want to show as many people how to do this because most people are able to go and structure their credit, open up a business, and get a bunch of cars, rent them if they have the right process, dream car process, right? If they're able to do that, they're able to quit their jobs and then be free, right? But then like with the thing I love about cars is like they're very easy to manage, right? You wash the car, you pick it up, you drop it off at the time that they pick it up, they take the car and then it's done, right? But then that replaced their income, right? So now they're free. So then like now what else, right? So then now we start working on a different business, right? We either invest in real estate, in Airbnb, something like that. But then the same thing, we give that to a management company that gets managed, you do nothing. So now you have cars that are cash flowing assets. Then you have property that's cash flowing assets. But then your time's still yours, right? So then now what else? So that's when business number 3 happens. And that's how we make people go from like Walmart, low income, terrible credit, no money, no future, right? To having 3 businesses, supercars, property. Like you're talking about changing your whole bloodline, just starting with Dream Car. Wow. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's super cool. I love it.
Which is true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all the knowledge. That's all we need is the knowledge, right? Because like he said, you could take somebody where they're in that situation and put them in a much better position just simply because we know how to get it done. We know a way to purchase vehicles with no money out of pocket, right? Literally no money out of pocket. So you can go from having no cars or 1 car to having 9 cars, which is what I did, without spending any money, immediately leveraging Turo's platform to list them, rent them, get them paid for, and make money on top of them, right? Let's say on average you're making about $700 a car, which is pretty average. You should be making more, but let's say $700 a car. You have 10 cars. That's $7,000. 10 cars will take you less than 40 hours a week to manage, right? Let's go at a smaller scale, 5 cars. Like he was saying, 5 cars at $700, that's $3,500, more than the average American take home after taxes. And that's going to take you, just to do my math simple, 68 hours to run in a month? Yeah. It's 168 hours full time when somebody works 40 hours a week. They're taking about $2,500 after taxes. 5 cars gets you $3,500, working 100 hours less. Like he said, now you free up $100. 100 hours? What else can we do?
Yeah, what else can we do to make the money, man? Yeah.
So Dream Car Academy isn't just about cars. That's where it starts, right? We also helped them, like you said, purchase property, put it on Airbnb, cash flow there.
The way you said, like you turn an expense into a cash flowing asset, like that's huge. Like I've never thought of a sports car as a cash flowing asset until right now.
2022. You get what I'm saying? It's a new world. Yeah. Right? Like I'm 32, he's 31. He's 32.
I'm
How old are
31.
you?
I'm 31.
31? How old are you?
37.
37. Okay. So we're all in the same like age range, right? So we're blessed. We're actually, I think, one of the best like generations in like history of like humankind, right? Why? Because we were able to see, we're old enough to see old business, right? And the old business that we learned that our parents did, that our friends, that our family did, that's like the business that built this country, right? And then this whole new world came, right? The internet, right? And the young kids now, the Generation Z, right? They know everything about the internet, right? Now we have 3-year-olds on iPads that know how to go on YouTube and skip ads and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So we didn't have that when we were kids, right? So we're blessed to be able to see like the old world that built this country, and now we know a little bit of the new world, right?
Yeah.
So we got both. Either the ones on either side are handicapped, right? Because my mom doesn't know how to buy things on Amazon, right? But his 5-year-old daughter does, right? So they're on both sides, you know? So we're able to be in the middle. And the thing that I love is like we're leveraging the internet, this new world business, to be able to buy really cool cars, zero down, not spend any money, and cash flow crazy. Like being real, if you look at some of the numbers of our cars, we buy them zero down, right? We don't spend any dollar out of pocket to get them. These cars, if you look at like the traditional model of like buying a house, like buying an investment property and then renting into like a single family, if you make $500 a month, it's considered like a really good return, right? Really good return, right? Not counting that now we have Airbnb, right? But like let's say just a single family, $500 a month is considered a really good return. Some of our cars do more than like 6x, 8x, 10x than like real estate property does.
Yeah.
Right? That's fucking crazy.
Yo.
And then we get dope shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to own a property, like a little condo that cash flows $300 a month, $500 a month, and just know you have that. But we get to drive supercars, we get to network with them, we get to use them, we get to rally with them, we get to race with them, we get to do cool videos with their content with them, we get to share them with our friends and family.
Yeah.
And they fucking cash flow.
I'll tell you, I used to think the coolest thing a sports car did for you was get you laid. And you
Yeah.
just taught me something even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
You can make money and get
Yeah.
laid. with a
Dude,
sports car.
imagine showing up to the listing appointment with a fucking
Yo.
McLaren.
Dude,
bro.
That's,
Like,
I mean, that's
Dude,
exactly
tell
what
them.
that's exactly what we talk about.
Yeah.
It's-
Tell them.
Dude, these cars, they do so much more for you, right? So before we had supercars, right? Before we had these nice, beautiful orange cars, green Lamborghinis, red Hellcats,
pink G-Wagon.
pink G-Wagons,
Oh,
all
man.
I had was a Kia, right?
Yeah, I remember the
Remember
Kia.
the Kia?
I remember the
You
Kia.
remember the Kia? I had the Porsche, sold that, and then I got the Kia.
It was a reliable car when you needed it,
Yeah, exactly, when I needed it.
and you decided to Turo it, dude. Again, that's ballsy.
Wait, no, I didn't even, wait. So we had just the Kia, right, back in the day. Let's talk about what these cars do real quick.
Okay.
And let me ask you this real quick. What should I say? You're at the gas station, right? Okay. You're coming out and you're walking to your car. And then right in front of you is a beautiful white Kia Optima. Hear me out.
Pearl white,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he had
Pearl
like
white,
the
diamond
nice one.
stitching.
Yeah,
Diamond
yeah,
stitching.
yeah.
I had
SXL, badass one.
diamond stitching inside. I don't think you would even get close enough to know that. But I had diamond stitching inside, right? I had all the options that you can possibly have on this Kia. I promise you it was dope. No matter what I had, it was dope. Okay? You see it. What do you think to yourself?
I'm thinking, well, it's just a white Kia.
You don't think
I'll just
anything
keep walking.
of it.
That's the
I'll
truth.
just keep walking.
You don't think anything of
Anything.
it. You don't think
Anything.
anything of it, right?
Mm-mm.
So let's say that's me driving that Kia.
Mhm.
And you coming out of that gas station, you're a potential client
Oh,
to
yeah,
me,
yeah.
right? No
That's
matter
right.
what, because I sell a product or a service or I own a business,
Mhm.
like many of us do.
Yeah.
Okay. You think nothing of me.
Yeah. Like, how good
I
is
could
he?
be
He drive-
badass,
Yeah.
but you don't know, and because I'm driving a Kia, no disrespect, right? But
Yeah.
stay
It's
with
just
me.
a car we
Stay
don't
with
really
me.
judge
Stay
people
with
on.
me, correct.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just the way that the human mind works, right?
Mhm.
So we have to work with it. Now, fast forward to when I had a green Lamborghini Huracan.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're coming out of the gas station.
Yo, I'm
You're
like,
walking to your car.
I'm looking at your car.
And you see a green, bright Lamborghini Huracan. What are you thinking to yourself?
I'm actually going to tell you how badass your car is.
And
You
what?
are. You
what,
are. You
what
are.
does that guy do?
Yeah.
Listen, that's exactly what's going to go through your mind. Because when we see the people with the cars, even though we have them, we're still like, yo, bro, check it out. What do you think he does? Let's go find out.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's an opportunity to network. It's an opportunity to build a relationship. And it's an opportunity to get a client. In your case, it's an opportunity to get a listing, maybe a buyer, right? Or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter what you do. These cars are going to market for you. They're going to build your brand and they're going to make people curious and wonder what it is that you do. And most of them will approach you. And all of a sudden, you've opened the door for a client to come in that you would have never gotten if it wasn't for the car.
That door would not have been open.
So that client, that paycheck came 100% because of this vehicle. It's there because of the car. So if this car wasn't there, that client wouldn't have been there. So are these cars costing us any money? No, they're fucking making us money. It's all a mindset. Take the renting part away. It's just driving in them. People wondering what you do and asking you, boom, that's a client. Boom, that's a client. $10,000 check, $12,000 check. This is only $3,000 a month. Some people are spending $5,000, $10,000 a month on Facebook ads and they don't even know their numbers and it's extremely high and they're not even converting those leads. I'm paying $3,000 to drive this every day for 30 days and I'm making way more than a lot of Facebook ads will do if you're only spending $3,000 on them.
That's incredible, man.
And that's like whatever you sell. Like he's talking about specifically real estate, right?
Yeah, no, I get
But like in any business, bro, if you sell houses, if you do loans, if you do credit repair, if you do funding, if you like think about this. If we put 2 Girl Scouts out, right? One girl in the corner, like she always does, says her little stances with cookies, and then the other girl over here, right? At the other side of the street, but we pop the doors on this fucking McLaren. And she's next to the McLaren, right? Yo, real shit. Who's gonna sell more?
They're gonna go next to the car.
You can't be successul without supercars, right? But success like speed, right? And this is gonna accelerate your success, whatever you're doing. Plus, they cash flow. Plus, they're
plus they cash flow. So you turn a liability to an asset.
Correct.
Now, because I know a little bit about you guys, and so I've seen it, and I know the answer, but for our viewers, economy cars versus these cars, why? Why not economy cars?
Okay, I'll start.
I know you guys got loaded. You're loaded up for this. So
I mean, it's quite simple.
I'm just setting it up. You guys knock it out.
It's very easy. It's not even a lot. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, we'll break it down just how we did. I mean, that gas station is a perfect example. Nobody gives a fuck about the person with 10 Priuses.
That's number one already.
There. True. It's not going to get you any business outside of just rental business, which isn't a lot of money for these cars. Yeah. So that's one. Two, my McLaren, my Huracan, right? Let's talk about my Huracan. That Huracan was renting for $1,500 a day, all right? One day, $1,500. 10 days, $15,000. How many economy cars do you need, and how many times do they need to rent out a month to make $15,000?
And right? just for devil's advocate, what was the payment with insurance and everything on that Huracan?
So the Huracan payment, I had a higher rate, which I didn't care about because the renters were paying for it, not me. So I had an 8-point-something %, 72-month term. My payment was $3,100 and change. And then my insurance was about, call it $500 a month. So 36, 37, call it 37.
So 3 rentals and you're positive and you get to drive a car for free. And I mean, literally you can go anywhere and get business from it or rent it out for minimum 10 days and you just made 15 grand.
Correct. Right. So you rather be seen in these types of cars, right? Especially when you have a business or you sell the product or service. And 2, it's so much less work to make so much more money. So much less work. Like you said, 3 rentals here, I'm already positive. On economy cars, oh no, that doesn't happen.
So let's say like we have students in our academy now, right? That took other mentorships that tells them to go and buy economy cars, right? So they did that, right? So now they join Dream Car because we're better, right? Now they already bought the cars, right? This is like a year ago, right? They still have the cars. One of our students has 9 cars, right? Bigger operation than most will take on, right? 9 cars. And he takes home about $2,500 a month in profit, right? No, he does $4,500 a month in profit after expenses, right? He does about $500 a car, right? 9 cars, 1 Huracan does more.
Oh, man.
And then he's got Kias, he's got Nissans, he's got Priuses, and he's got like 4 Camrys.
And now he's underwater. He's underwater on them, trying to get out of them, and it's going to be difficult. We'll make it happen. Trust me, we'll figure it out one way or another.
Right. But no, we did the math for him to exit those cars, to get out of those cars, to get into a better situation. He's $40,000 negative equity, right? Because they're economy cars, right? They don't go up in value; they just go down in value.
Literally depreciate.
No, that's right. Yeah. I mean, we've seen Ferraris. I mean, the Ferrari F50 it keeps going up in price because
his Ferrari 458.
Yeah, I paid $195,000 on Ferrari, and now it's worth $230,000.
Oh man!
After he put 20,000 miles on it.
23,000 miles. I got 40,000 miles on my 458.
My Huracan I bought for $160,000 because I rolled in $4,000 negative equity on a Bentley I had. So I paid $160 out the door, $173 with taxes and everything. A year later, sold it for 190,000.
With 52,000 miles.
Unreal.
Yep, my McLaren.
Crazy.
My McLaren, I purchased it for 160. Right now, at a good deal, I could sell it for 165.
How much?
That doesn't happen with the
It
economy
doesn't happen.
cars.
Cars are not supposed to go up in value, but you
stay.
you cracked the code.
I mean, the market's in our favor, right? So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like the market is in our favor.
Right, of course.
But however, still, these cars have a different depreciation curve than economy cars, and these will hold a lot longer than economy cars, and they'll hold at a certain level and after certain amount of years. So you're not as fucked as you would be with economy cars. And we're purchasing the right way, right? We're buying cars at damn near wholesale price so that when we add taxes and registration, we're still under retail so that when we sell it 10 months later, we can sell it for market price and at least break even on meaning we'll be able to sell it for what we owe, but we made all the cash flow on the monthly amounts, right?
So how much did you profit on the sale?
Of the Huracan?
Right.
So I sold for 190. I owed 150 by that point because everybody else made my payments. So $40,000. The dealership that sold it kept 10. So I took home $30,000 profit.
Plus $10,000 a month in cash.
For 12 months.
And for 12 months, not counting all the attraction, all the leads that came into our business because a green Lamborghini is going to bring business.
And we know for a fact of one post that was made with that Lamborghini Huracan, that post alone, bullshit aside, brought in $400,000 in business.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Dude, you can buy another one. That's crazy.
So it's like, why wouldn't you go buy an exotic car, a supercar?
Yeah.
Like when people say I can't afford it, it's like, no, you can't afford not to have one. Now, can we get you one? I mean, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And what you're saying right now just plays into the whole strategy that real estate agents do. This seems like something that would be such a great side hustle, but also make their business better.
Yes.
Yeah. This is huge.
Dude,
Yeah.
if we're both agents
Yeah.
and you put up in a Tacoma and I pull up in my Ferrari, I'm going to beat you.
Yes, you are. 100%.
Every single time.
100%.
Because after the meeting, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm going to go have dinner with my brother. I'm going to leave the Ferrari. Have fun. Really? Hell yeah. Give me 2 days. I'll be back. Right? I got enough cars. I'm going to leave.
And the guy in the Tacoma is just going to go in the Tacoma and be like, fuck.
Oh my
By the way,
God.
and the guy in Tacoma,
fuck these guys with the Ferrari.
the guy in Tacoma at the end is like, oh, by the way, I'll give you a TV when we close. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're gonna
You
take
know
a
what I mean?
picture with the key.
Yeah.
And some balloons.
Yeah.
And
And
a bottle.
poppers.
No disrespect to nobody.
Yeah.
Right? It's the fact.
No, it's the fucking
truth.
truth. They gotta know. It's
and
the truth.
Not just that, but I mean, even as like a consumer, right? If your agent or whatever the professional is that's helping you, if they're in a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a McLaren, a Rolls Royce, you're automatic. It's just the way the mind thinks. You automatically think, man, this guy is good at what he does.
Yeah.
Or you might not get every single time,
this female's good at what she does.
you'll win 9 out of 10.
You feel me?
You'll win 9 out of 10,
And,
for
and
sure.
it might not be real, and it might not be true, but that's the first image, the first mind, or the first thought that the person is going to get. Now, it's up to you whether you're good or not to carry on the conversation and actually build a relationship, but the car is going to open the door for you 100% of the time.
Let's talk money. Every single real estate agent wants to sell bigger and bigger properties, right? That's just what it is, right? They all want to be high luxury real estate agents, right? They all want to be Ryan Serhant. They all want to be the Allman Brothers.
They want to come out and
20 million,
selling
right?
Sunset.
Right, selling Sunset. Everybody wants to be, right? Why? Bigger the house, bigger the check, bigger the network, right? 100%. So I was talking to an agent the other day, right? And I was saying, do you know, she was saying how she's going to get luxury listings, right? And she's like, you know what? I haven't done it because I haven't wanted to. I'm like, that's not true. Because if you could have done it, you would have had it now. It's bullshit, right? But what I'm saying is that the way that they were marketing, the way that they're marketing to just a lower ticket person.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Now you want to sell higher ticket. You want to have the clients that buy the 4 million, the 5 million, the 6, the 12, the 18, right? Those people, the reason they're buying such expensive ass high luxury property is because they like dope shit,
Man.
right? If not, they would just buy a regular house, right?
Yeah,
they
it's
like
a lifestyle.
dope shit, right? So my buddies, the ones that do $1 million a month, $4 million a month, $5 million, they're the ones that are buying these big 4, 5, 10, $12 million properties, right?
Yep.
They all like rich shit. It's the truth, right? They all like rich shit. They all have supercars. They like to take jets. When they go to the Formula One races, they don't pay $1,000 for good seats. They pay $42,000 to be on the floor, right? They don't get really good seats at the Lakers games. They get courtside next to Drake, right? Those are the guys that are buying this stuff, right? You feel me?
Hey,
come on now.
Had to be mentioned.
So
had to be mentioned just once.
those guys like supercars. They like dope shit. That's why they're buying super expensive, high luxury houses, because they like dope shit. So if you want to mix around with these people, you want to network with these people, you're going to be around them more often, a supercar will get you in circles that money can't get you into.
Correct. And you'll feel much more confident in that circle pulling up in a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, whatever, than you would pulling up in a Tacoma or I just said Tacoma, you said Tacoma. I always say Kia, but
Big time.
but either way, it's like it's a whole different energy level, right? And even now, when I
used to have the Tacoma. I got rid of it.
I mean, you took the McLaren for a couple of days. How was the energy behind the wheel there?
God.
Tell them.
Okay, so we're driving down the road in the McLaren. Yo, Oscar set us up with the McLaren for the Latitude.
Well, shout out to Oscar.
That was awesome, man. For the
that.
Latitude event in San Diego. That was incredible. The first thing we noticed was we're driving down the street, and I noticed that everybody's looking at us, and I'm like, why? Oh, I know why.
He really was like, why is everyone looking?
Why is everyone looking at us? Oh, that's why. Like everybody was looking at us. And it was an incredible experience because it's just like people look at you differently. They do.
Absolutely.
And they treat you differently. I mean, you know.
I remember one time, it just gets me every time. I was coming home from the office and I stopped at a gas station and I was in my bright green Huracan, right? And I get down, I'm right in front of the liquor store and I'm pulled up next to the gas station. And I get down, I'm grabbing my Celsius. I grab 3 Celsius for the morning. And there's this lady in front of me. And, you know, it's like 30, I forgot exactly what it was, but it was like $34 in change. And she had like $34 and she's looking for the change. And the guy's just there, like hurry up, give me the money. Try and collect every penny, bro. And I see this lady, she walks out and she goes into her, I forgot what it was, but it was, whatever car.
A humble car.
A humble car. I mean, they're all humble. My Huracan, I'm very humble. So, and then I come up and he's like, is that your Huracan right there? I'm like, oh yeah, that's my Huracan right there. So clearly he knows I make money. Mm-hmm. That lady didn't. This motherfucker says, hey bro, the Celsius are on me. Don't worry.
Oh, dude.
I don't get it. Yeah. It's just the way the mindset works.
It's
so when you say that people treat you differently, they really do.
Bullshit.
Right? Well, and it's because they want to say like, oh, my boy's got a Huracan. And all of a sudden you're their boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We pulled up. We pulled up. The valet came. 2 people, different parties of people, walked up to us and started talking to us about the car. Boom.
It
was insane.
That's your shot of the deal.
Yeah. Right there.
Every single time. That's your shot of the deal.
Yeah. They're always going to say, what do you do? Because they want to know, what do you do to be able to drive
from
this
Florida, just asking questions. Now we got connections in Florida. And easy money.
You see what I mean? Right?
All day.
Every day.
Yeah. And what I love is that they're not shying away from any of the, like the negative parts. They told us right away, like, hey, look, we're not negative on these cars like an economy car would be. So you guys already when people are watching, they're looking for the seams, right? They're like, there's got to be some bullshit in there somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Is there any part that you would say, okay, let's just play devil's advocate. This is the worst part about having Turo that I'm sure you guys have already you've had to deal with and you've gotten ahead of. What's like one of the worst stories you have?
Okay, so just overall, what I've heard being the biggest issue is accidents not getting covered through Turo.
Okay.
Right? And that's everybody's like biggest nightmare.
Let's get ahead of it.
We can confidently say that 100% of our accidents have been covered. In fact, we have a system that we teach how to build relationships with body shop guys or mechanics so that we can maximize on these accidents and actually walk away with thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
It's all legal, by the way.
It's all. This is how it works.
100%. It's how the system works.
Honestly, the like I had an issue, right? Mm-hmm. When we started, we were like figuring things out ourselves. We didn't hire mentors.
Yeah. This was when? This was 2019?
2019, right? So I bought a Maserati Gran Turismo, right? And I rented it and I didn't have it covered how it needed to be, right? The car got crashed. It was T-boned. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even his fault. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it turned out that no insurance wanted to cover it, so nobody was taking liability. So both insurances didn't take liability, right? So nobody covered the car. So I was stuck with a crashed Maserati Gran Turismo.
And this was off of Turo.
Off of Turo.
Okay.
Right?
You got, that's...
we were learning.
You were learning. You're like, hey, this guy said he'd pay us so much.
We had nobody to teach us.
Yeah.
Nobody to teach us, right?
We thought we were properly covered, but we weren't.
Which just... That's a strong point, dude. Again, is they were not afraid to make mistakes. They're just getting in there. They're trying it out.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So he gets T-boned. No insurance wants to cover it. I'm stuck with a broken car that nobody's going to pay to fix, right? So I said, you know what? It was a $60,000 car. They told me it was going to be $35K to fix. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just park it. I'm going to figure it out later. right? This is just like a nightmare. I'll figure it out later. Time progresses. It's 12 months later. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's still so super expensive. I get $30,000 quotes, $28,000 quotes. I say, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm really going to figure this out because I'm tired of paying $1,000 a month. That was the cost of the car, $1,000 a month, right? 12 months. I ended up getting it together for $9,000, right? So the car looks beautiful now. It's good, right? It's back. So it's a total loss of $20,000, right? Had I paid a mentor and he told me exactly what to do, had I spent $11, I wouldn't have lost anything.
Yep.
$11
to get properly covered, right? So what is the bad?
I would have got a check and I would have profited.
And
I probably would have taken home like 20 G's on that accident.
Oh yeah, especially with what we know now, right? So it's people's nightmares not getting covered. There we weren't covered because it was off of Turo. We weren't educated. We didn't have the proper insurance that now we know to have.
Yeah.
But when you're on Turo, as long as you do your part and you take all the proper pictures pre-check-in and you communicate everything with the guest properly, every time that an accident happens, Turo will cover you 100% of the time. If your car gets totaled, if your car gets stolen, if it's a fender bender, if it's a bump, it doesn't matter. They will cover it as long as you do your due diligence and you take all your pictures properly and you note everything the right way, which obviously in our academy, we teach everything so that you're never fucked, right? So that's one of the big things that I hear people talk about. But if you, again, prepare for it, you should 100% of the time be good. So
if anything better.
I mean, when people say, but what if they total my car? What if they steal it? Okay, then it gets paid through insurance and we get another one.
Okay.
Right? It's not a big deal. So don't make it a big deal.
Yeah.
It's part of the business.
I see that.
What if somebody scratches my rim? Okay, then we charge him. We make a couple $100. We fix the rim and that's it. Don't be emotionally attached to this vehicle. It's a income producing asset. It doesn't matter if they bump it or they scrape it. That's an opportunity to make money. Right?
Yes.
So there's that.
That's good. What about?
That's probably the biggest.
You got any questions?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, don't you think a high-speed chase is probably good promotion for you guys?
Yeah.
Like if they had just like a car just like that one.
Our IG on the side, Dream Car Exotics.
Yes, that would be like the best promotion ever for you guys. And then you guys get when they do the pit maneuver, you guys get covered by Turo, make some money off the top, and then you go buy another one. By leveraging your money, that would be awesome.
Somebody come steal our fucking car. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get scared, like, oh, what do they steal your car?
Yeah.
Like, what happens? Like, dude, we get a check. We have insurance. You know, that's what insurance is for. They steal the car, we get a check. And then we get to buy another car. They total a car, we get a check, we get to buy another car. They scratch it, they dent it. Dude, if you bring your dog and he has dog hair, if you go to the beach and put sand in my car, check. You know what I'm saying? You curb my rim, check. You scratch my wheels,
Smoke weed in my car.
Your girl puts her purse on my hood, it scratches the hood, check. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
and everything's covered. And then the clients don't even get fucked because the clients that rent the car have insurance also. You know what I'm saying? So it's everybody's covered.
Everybody's covered.
Right? Which is people's biggest fear.
What about maintenance? What about maintenance?
So check it out. With maintenance, here's the best part. These vehicles, you don't need to get an oil change every 3,000 miles.
It's 10,000.
Exactly.
10,000.
People don't know that. People think it's 3, 5, 7 because when you go to Jiffy Lube or you go to any of these fucking oil change places, they give you those stickers that's 3,000 miles later. And it's like, hold on.
Yeah.
I can actually go 10,000 miles, right? So for one, we don't need that much, there's not that much maintenance, really.
Okay.
Oil changes every 10,000 miles. Even for like the McLaren, the Huracan, the Ferrari, same thing, 10, 12,000 miles. And because we teach you how to build relationships with mechanics, with body shop owners, we're getting the labor, the work done for free. As long as they can drive this car for a day, sure. Take my McLaren for a day, and then I don't pay to get the brakes done. I don't pay for the oil change. You do that instead of paying me. Why are we going to exchange money? Instead, let's exchange services. It's $1,500 a day here. Take it for a day. I have $1,500 worth of credit with you, right? And then, boom, things get done. So we teach people how to leverage our vehicles to build those relationships and then how to get discounts if needed and whatever the case may be.
Everybody asks, is the maintenance crazy on Ferraris and Lamborghinis, right? Everybody asks. Everybody thinks like, oh, it's going to be crazy to change these brakes. Yeah. It is, right? If you're doing the traditional way of purchasing a car, driving it, and this is like pleasure use, right? These like cars are businesses, right? So we leverage these cars to get things for free, right? Why? Because people want to drive our cars too. So when it comes to maintenance, we don't pay $1 in maintenance, right? Because whatever it is, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, they'll just keep the car a few days.
And we've gotten away with seriously.
They let the mechanics keep the car.
Dude, they'll like, let's say I'll have my guy. I need to do brakes on the Ferrari, $3,000, right? And then I'm like, say, hey, you know what? I need to change my brakes. I'll bring it by, drop off the car, and he says, hey, you mind if I go pick up my son from school? He's like, bro, keep it all weekend. It's Friday. Keep it all weekend. I'll get it on Monday.
Yeah.
Word, cool. Thank you. I pick it up on Monday. No bill every single time.
And
Why? Because they want to drive
Yeah.
Ferraris too. Ain't nobody
Think
gonna
about
let you drive their supercar.
I mean,
No.
people,
You know what I'm saying?
people that are mechanics, people that own body shops, is because they love cars.
Yeah, they're car guys.
So
you
it
know?
makes sense. And it's service for service. Why am I going to take your money, like I said, to give it right back to you?
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
And you got to remember, less than 1% of the people in the United States have supercars. You feel me?
Wow.
Less than 1%.
Yo, these numbers are
That's a good
sick.
point.
Feel me?
You know, the key word that we're hearing again and again is leverage coming out of what you guys are doing. You're leveraging a car into
Yeah.
more cars, one
Yeah.
customer into more customers.
Yeah.
Always.
And you connect that to real estate and it's like one
Yeah.
network, one house
Yeah.
to many houses. You have such a good mindset and such a well-organized plan. You guys are so in sync with your direction. It's incredible.
Thank
It's like
you,
no
brother.
wonder you guys are successful. It's like a 90s rap video in here with all these
Thank you, bro.
cars, man. It's amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
like a Drake video.
Yeah. Oh
Well-
yeah. Got it.
What's
Yeah.
it called? Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so many benefits to cars, bro. We cash flow with the cars, right? We buy the cars, zero down, rent them, cover the payment, and then we cash flow, right? Then we use them to network with other like high net worth individuals, right? And then we use them to attract more leads into our business. And then we use them to be in private rallies. And then we use them to go to get invited by Ferrari San Diego to private events that are exclusive to Ferrari owners, right? If they're gonna unveil a car at Lamborghini, they're gonna call Oscar and let him know, like, hey, by the way, we're gonna do a private event. Please come by, right? Be our guest, right? So they call Oscar, right? When it comes to Ferrari, they'll call me and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna reveal the new 296 GTV private reveal for Ferrari owners only, right? So then we go, right? On Father's Day, they call us and they let us know. They say, hey, you know what? We're gonna do a brunch. We're gonna have an open bar. We have a lot of food, a lot of cool cars. Let's watch the Miami Grand Prix here at Ferrari San Diego. Right. So nobody in our family's got money. We didn't come from money. Our family are immigrants. Right. And even now, like we lead our families. Right. Nobody in my family has money. Nobody. Right. So to them, like supercars is still a big deal. Like we get used to them because we live this.
Yeah.
Right. But to them, it's still like huge deal. So I got all my uncles. I got all my cousins. I said, hey, you know what? For Father's Day, let's go to Ferrari San Diego. They're going to make food for us. So I took like 10 people. I took all my uncles, all my cousins. They all flew down here. We all went to Ferrari San Diego. They made them food. They had free drinks. They had a crazy good price. Saw $1 million cars, $1.5 million cars,
Man.
$500,000 cars, a bunch of Ferrari owners. And then we sat down and watched the Miami Grand Prix at Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? That's a dope experience. You got to remember, like,
That's an amazing experience.
Our parents came from Mexico. No English, no money, no nothing, right? To them, this is like beyond their dreams. They didn't even dream this far.
That's
You know
upper
what I'm saying?
echelon.
Yeah. They didn't even dream this big. You know, it's beyond our dreams. So we get to do cash flow. We get to market with them. We get to use them for leads. We leverage them on social media. We leverage them to get free stuff so we don't pay. So we trade the car for credit on whatever we want to purchase, right?
Oh, yeah.
Leverage.
We've built some of our
Right?
biggest, most important, and most, profitable relationships thanks to the vehicles.
100%.
We met and shook hands with the first billionaire I've ever met in my life because he rented the Huracan, right? $2,000 a day for 6 days, barely even drove it.
Yeah. No, we didn't do any business with him, but just to be in like his
Correct.
proximity is powerful.
And
just to know like that,
pick his brain.
yo,
Pick
he's
his
got a
brain.
beat. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Just
that's
to know
different.
that.
It's different.
It just makes things real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It makes
Makes it
things
real.
real. It makes us feel like, okay, that's real because you see him. He's just a person.
That's 10
right?
digits.
Yeah.
That's 10 figures.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So like that, just being able to
10
be in
digits.
just to be able to be in his proximity and to see that like makes it so much more real. It's just like supercars, right?
That's a phone number
Supercars
with
was,
an
like,
area code.
too far from our believing, right? I used to dream about driving like Mercedes and BMWs, right? I didn't even think about like owning Ferraris. That was just too far, right? Then we started asking questions about like what it takes to get these cars, if there's loans to get these cars, how much you have to make, asking the questions, and then now boom, supercars become regular, right? We started asking the questions like, hey, how much does that car cost?
Yep.
Like, can you get a loan for that car?
Remember when we first
Right?
walked into Ferrari and
Yeah. I remember the first time.
I remember we walked
He was
from-
looking to get a Ferrari.
we walked in there and it was our first time ever because
Yeah.
we were talking about getting a Ferrari and we're
Yeah.
like, well, how do we even get a Ferrari? We're like, well, fuck, let's go ask Ferrari.
Let's go.
And think about this. This was not even a full 3 years ago that you
No.
guys were like fucking
Correct.
No.
Yeah, we
like
didn't.
Dumb
we
and
were-
Dumber walking in
Yeah,
trying to get a
we,
fucking
we walk,
Ferrari.
we walk in there and we're like, we're like, yo, how do we buy one of these?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, how do they look at you? How do
First
they
of
look
all,
at you?
they're like, no, they're cool. They're super
They were
cool.
cool.
They're
Okay,
super
cool. Okay, cool.
They were
All
super
right,
cool.
shout out Ferrari.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool,
shout out San Diego Ferrari. Super cool. But I mean, like you said, like literally just 3 years
Yeah.
ago, right? We walk into Ferrari dealership because we have no idea on what it takes to even purchase one. How much down payment do they need? What do they
Yeah.
check? How much the FICO score that you need, right? So we go in there and we're asking these questions. And remember, I applied, got approved, but we didn't seal the deal because we didn't like the price, and then ended up getting the Huracan.
Yeah.
But it's like, for those of you guys that are out there wondering, like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Don't just wonder. Go figure it out and ask the source.
Go ask the source.
Because you're not like, it's not real. It's just a fucking dream.
Yes.
Right? If you know how much it costs, right? It's just like people are like, oh, I want to buy a house. I'm thinking about a house for like 1.2, 1.3. Like, do you even know if you can buy that?
Yeah, they don't ask.
Like,
they don't ask a loan officer.
Let's say you get approved. Could you pay that payment?
Yeah, they don't even know what the payment is.
It's just like in real estate. It's like you saying, I want a house. Oh, let's go look at houses. You're just dreaming. You don't even know if you can afford it, right? Let's see how much money you make first. I mean, let's see how much you can afford first, and then we'll look at property there. And then if the property is a little higher, now we know like, oh, that house will be this much. That house will be this much. You can actually calculate what you're gonna spend. People don't do that shit. People want to go look at houses and just dream. They want to go to the Ferrari store and just look at Ferraris and just walk away like, you know.
And never
one
ask,
day. You know what I'm
never
saying?
even
One day.
ask what it takes to purchase one.
Yeah.
Or fill out an app.
And by the way, you guys, like that's news right now because I know that Ryan just bought his property not too long ago. It was right before the rates went up, right?
Oh, dope.
So what's your payment on a $750,000 property?
My payments are about $3,400.
$3,400.
Yeah, $3,400
for a $650,000 property right now.
Fire,
dude. The price, the payment is like $4,800 right now.
Yes, now it's like
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
That's for less.
We just helped my mother purchase a property for Airbnb, and her payment on that property, conventional, 5% down with 760 credit score. Her payment is $45 and change.
Fuck.
Man.
Yeah, $4,600. And that's because she got lucky.
And what's the purchase price again?
Wait, $680. And that's because she got lucky and she was able to lock her rate about a month ago. So, you know,
when it kind of came back down a little bit.
She got 5.5.
Oh, man.
But that's so much better than they are now.
They're like 7.25 right now.
Yeah, there's dream numbers.
Yeah.
Dude, and you have experience in the lending industry. Yeah, I mean, you could tell just by the way you're talking. So for the people
he's
who
are like real estate loan fucking shark.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to talk like more
shark in a good way.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Wait for Oscar. He's coming.
Finance.
He got you.
I'm just fine. Yeah.
The finance guru. I mean, look how you leveraged everything.
Well, look at all that wisdom they got in the beards, just in the beards alone.
Dude, that's it, man.
The wisdom is coming in
that's
heavy.
Just wisdom.
Wisdom.
Hey,
wisdom.
honestly, you just gotta ask God for more wisdom, bro.
Oh man,
that's awesome. So, if people want to follow you on social media, how do they find you?
So, you guys can follow me on IG at The Real Oscar Mellado. The Real Oscar Mellado. Mellado, it's MELLADO. And make sure that you are aware of fake accounts, because the minute that you start following me, fake accounts will start to follow you and will message you asking you how your trading is going and will ask you for crypto. That is not me. I will never message you anything about trading or crypto. I won't even just randomly message you at all. All right. Just be aware.
Oh, and mine's at XJEZUS and there's 3 underscores. That's our Instagram. That's going to be across everything: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everything.
And then you can also go to our website if you want more information on how to join Dream Car Academy, and that's driveyourdreamcar.co.
You know what's crazy? I noticed you were, I believe, one of the first ones I noticed that you were starting to get those fake accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's spreading like a plague.
You got them too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
You got, I think 1 or 2, because I've reported them.
That
my boy,
crazy,
Hey.
Pretty soon, you never know if our podcast.
It's almost
gets
like a
big
status
enough,
symbol.
Yes, dude. I know, right? You're legit.
Well, people are like, oh man, I want. Let me be that person so I can go scam people. Because
when you become a person of authority, that's respected, then they'll go after it and they'll do. They're fucking smart.
Well, I think it's so much more than that. I think it's when you try to do good, and when you are a person of authority, but you're using your powers for good, and people respect you, that's when they come for you.
And just a quick tip, guys: the easiest and safest way to check: go to that profile that may be suspicious, go all the way to the bottom, and go to the first picture that was posted. And if it was a few days ago, it's a fake account.
Look at the dates.
Fake account, man.
Look at the dates, because they were more than likely.
That's fucking perfect.
This is my first time finding out about that. My 2 fake accounts.
Yeah,
so
you're legit,
I'm
man.
kind of happy about that.
Yeah,
but I gotta hit up my friends. They're gonna be like, hey, your boy Diego hit me up for crypto.
No, dude, it sucks. I've had people hit me up on Facebook and they're like, hey, just to confirm, that was you on IG, right? Because I already sent the 300. I was like, no, it was not me on IG.
Yeah.
It's happened. I mean,
Damn.
the dude called
Dude,
Jesus.
he DM me. The real Oscar Miguel DM me. Right? He's like, hey, brother. Da-da-da. I'm like,
Hey, brother.
I knew who this was. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, oh, how's your trading going? Oh, it sucks, bro. I suck at this. And then he's like, oh, dude, I've been making so much money, 200% gains on Bitcoin, da-da-da-da. I'm like, bro, can you help me? He's like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, dude, thank you so much. Da-da-da-da. And then I'm like, hold on one sec. And I get my phone, and I'm like, yo, look at me. I took a selfie with Oscar. I said to him, right? And I'm like, he's my business partner, you fucking dick. Right?
No, I told him off too.
Check this out. So then he's like, I know who you are. I was just fucking with you too. He's like, I get you. I've gotten all of Oscar's people and your people. I'm still hunting them down to this day. He's like, if you want, send me $50,000 in Bitcoin, and I'll stop hunting your people. And I'm like, what?
Aside.
He's like, I already got $8,900.
Damn.
Yeah, dude,
He said, I'm killing.
And there's
right?
nothing that
He's
we
like,
can do.
and he's just cocky as fuck.
Yeah. And I reported him, and I posted it for
No,
people.
please, guys, just be careful out there.
Yeah.
Not just our account, just any account, right?
Yeah.
If you feel it's suspicious, go to their account and check it out.
Dude,
No,
you heard it
smart
on Not a
move.
Boring Real Estate Podcast.
That's it, man. That's not a boring story at all, man.
Not
That makes
at
me
all.
thinking that like the freaking KGB's looking over our shoulder trying to pull some shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
that,
Lord
yeah,
Father Jesus, destroy that shit.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
dude, I got into it with one of the dudes too, and I was like, "Oh, bro, you're a piece of shit, dude. You're going to fucking hell."
Oh, yeah,
and he's
you're
like,
in hell.
I am in hell. I'm like, "Oh shit!"
That's right. You're like, dude, how bad is it, dude?
No, I'm telling
It must be
you.
hard out there, bro.
Yeah,
they're
he's
fucking
like, fuck.
Mumbai or some
It's
shit.
all right,
Fucking,
bro.
Yeah.
they're out in
Yeah.
India. They're
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 like
fucking,
Africa, Pakistan. They're just,
They don't give a
and they're
Damn.
killing.
They're just
It's
in
getting
all over.
Americans.
They're all over. You know, they're all over.
Yeah, that's
That's crazy. Yo, this was an awesome show. Probably one of the best we've ever had, man.
Thank you. Let's do this shit again.
Let's do it again. We're
I
gonna
like
get on the
talking to
schedule.
motherfuckers like you, because you're
Yes.
just like us. You get me when I say like, "Yo, buy a supercar, you're somewhere real estate." You're like, "Yes, yes." People don't believe that shit.
Oh, we
you know
gotta
what I'm saying?
believe it.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, we have guys that say like, "Oh, what if it doesn't rent?"
Yeah.
What if I'm like, dude, yeah, but like that. What if is in any business? Like, what if you make cookies and you want to sell them? Nobody buys your fucking cookies.
And
Yeah,
even
fucking
and even
cookies.
it's
You feel me?
like, wait a minute. You're a real estate agent, or you're a loan officer, or you do credit repair, or you do business funding. Who gives a fuck if it doesn't rent? This car's gonna bring you so much more business.
Yes.
Business that would not even have existed if it wasn't for this car. So like, get your mind right. And let's concentrate on what's most important, which is the leads it's going to bring and the brand that you're building, and then rent it on the side because you don't want to make the note.
Yeah.
And because you want to meet people that rent these types of cars because you're going to turn them into a commission check on the back end
dude.
and build a powerful relationship with them.
Hell yeah.
It's just a win-win all the way around.
Dude, you got my boy. I can see the whites in your eyes.
I'm ready,
He's
man.
so
Let's
I'm like
get
that
a
Ferrari
supercar.
F50. I'm coming, man.
Let's go, my boy.
Come on, shut us up now before we keep on going.
No, well, that's the
yeah.
thing is there's so much. Like, I mean,
we
we
haven't
haven't
even-
even gotten into like the
Credit,
tax
business credit,
benefits that you
supercars,
guys
tax
have.
benefits,
Oh, dude.
social media marketing,
Leveraging business credit to clean up
leveraging
your
with
personal
celebrities,
credit.
leveraging with multi-million-dollar players. There's so fucking much.
Okay, so
man.
here I'm telling you, I know
We
this
have
thing
a
can go on.
play to how to buy a property with no money out of pocket
Oh, I love
and
it.
immediately put it on Airbnb. Conventional way, not that 100% finance bullshit, cow HA fake.
How
No,
Oscar,
no, no.
how
Just
Oscar bought
creative
a,
financing.
How Oscar bought a 2005 Bentley and took home like 30 grand the first
Dude,
day.
I love it. This is like
How?
a preview for the next
It's called
episode.
You see what I'm saying?
It's
The
perfect.
profit
me?
accelerator
Perfect,
that
dude.
Profit
nobody
Center
does.
is crazy. Oscar just did it again and got another 40 fucking G's
Oh,
the
my
first day.
God.
upfront.
First day up front.
Dude.
100%.
Bought the car.
100% right.
40 grand.
Everybody involved knows. The banks know. Everybody.
That is incredible. So we're gonna segue that into the next episode.
Part two.
I think
Let's
same
go.
time next month or something soon, man. Because we want to have you guys back
Let's
on.
do that. Let's do
So thank you all for watching, and y'all, thank you for being like the best
We'll see
guests
you guys
ever.
next
Thank you,
time.
brother.
See y'all.
You're welcome.